Hello guys. When your computer is running slow, there is nothing more frustrating, but it may be out of the question to purchase a new laptop. Before you give up, in this video I'm going to give you 10 tips that will make your computer to perform really faster and better than now. Windows OS was built in with many background processes that will obviously make your computer or laptop slow, so changing some default settings in your system can comparatively make your system to run faster. So, I will give you 10 tips and a bonus tip that will end your struggle with your system lags and crashes. We often install huge programs without realizing how much space they're taking up. You can easily uninstall any programs you don't use. Even if it's a program you do use now and again, if it's particularly large, it might be worth simply reinstalling each time you need it. To uninstall a program, head over to Control Panel, and then Programs and Features. Go through the programs and decide which ones, if any, you don't need. If you're unsure about a particular program, you could simply use a search engine to find out more. Alternatively, you can also use a tool like the aptly named PC Decrapifier to help you distinguish the good from the bad. Windows 10 has some nice eye candy, shadows, animations and visual effects. On fast, newer PCs, these don't usually affect system performance. But on slower and older PCs, they can exact a performance hit. It's easy to turn them off. In the Windows 10 search box, type the shown command and press enter. That launches the System Properties dialog box. Click the Advanced tab and click Settings in the Performance section. That brings you to the Performance Options dialog box. You'll see a varied list of animations and special effects. If you have time on your hands and love to tweak, you can turn individual options on and off. These are the animations and special effects you'll probably want to turn off because they have the greatest effect on system performance. However, it's probably a lot easier to just select Adjust for Best Performance at the top of the screen and then click OK. Windows 10 will then turn off the effects that slow down your system. Some programs that automatically run on startup can slow down your computer. Some you may actually want to run, such as antivirus software, but others may be unnecessary. Right-click the taskbar and select Task Manager or hit Ctrl-Shift-Escape to launch. Head to the Startup tab, and you'll be able to view each item that runs on startup, along with its impact. Go through these and decide which ones don't need to start automatically. This process is especially beneficial to performance if you can disable some of the high-impact ones. But note that some of these programs are vital for Windows to operate. For example, the ones with Microsoft listed as the publisher are probably best left alone. If you aren't sure, either leave it or try a Google search to find out more. To disable, simply right-click and hit Disable. Remember, you're not disabling the program, just the fact that it runs on startup. This will make your system booting time much faster. If you're using Windows 10's Power Saver plan, you're slowing down your PC. That plan reduces your PC's performance in order to save energy. Even desktop PCs typically have a Power Saver plan. Changing your power plan from Power Saver or Balance to High Performance will give you an instant performance boost. To do it, launch the Control Panel app, then select Hardware and Sound Power options. You'll typically see two options: Balanced, Recommended, and Power Saver. Depending on your make and model, you might see other plans here as well, including some branded by the manufacturer. To see the high performance setting, click the down arrow by Show Additional Plans. To change your power setting, simply choose the one you want, then exit Control Panel. High performance gives you the most oomph, but uses the most power. Balanced finds a happy medium between power use and better performance. And Power Saver does everything it can to give you as much battery life as possible. Desktop users have no reason to choose Power Saver, and even laptop users should consider the balanced option when unplugged and high performance when connected to a power source. The next thing you can try is either disabling or limiting the search indexing. So you can get to this by going to Sting's Add then Search and then searching Windows tab, and you can either set this to Classic to greatly reduce the amount of files to index in which it can only search inside the libraries and desktop. It will default the settings to enhanced, where it searches the whole computer, every corner of the computer, so this obviously consume more RAM to search a file in your computer. If you are using a really slower laptop under a system that was years old, then you should probably keep your disk clean and well organized. So changing the settings to classic should not affect your searching so badly. Now this will make a greater difference if you have a lot of files and running off a hard drive instead of SSD. If you are using a SSD, it might not bring a much difference, but still it's worth trying. Windows comes with a built-in tool for cleaning up junk that accumulates over time. To access the disk cleanup tool, go to Control Panel, and then System and Security, and then Administrative Tools, and select Disk Cleanup from the list. Here, you can select the types of files you want to get rid of and click OK. Then click Clean Up System Files, and choose any system files you want to remove. Make sure you are selecting the recycle bin and the temporary files. And proceed to delete those files. And you can delete the temporary files which was automatically stored by Windows and some software by typing the following command in the run and press Ctrl and press Shift plus Delete to delete all the files permanently. You can get some can't delete this file messages. Simply skip those files and delete all the files, and if you reboot your system it should help in cleaning those files. On Windows 10, many apps you download from the Microsoft Store will continue to run in the background to take advantage of additional features, such as the ability to download data, update live tiles, and show notifications. To disable apps from running in the background wasting system resources, open Settings and then click on Privacy, and select Background Apps and make sure you are turning off all the background apps. This will greatly help you in preserving your RAM and use it for the apps you actually need it for. If your computer is off to a slow start, then it's possible you have too many programs starting up at the same time as Windows itself. Items in the system tray often launch at startup and then stay running while you use your computer. To access these items, click the upwards arrow toward the right side of your taskbar. If there are any programs you don't need to have running, right-click them and close. Over time, files on your hard drive become fragmented. As your computer now has to check in multiple places for the pieces, it can run more slowly. The term defragment sounds a little dramatic, but it basically means putting those files back together so your system can run more efficiently. First, it's important to note that you only need to do this if your computer uses a traditional mechanical hard disk drive, HDD. A solid-state drive, SSD, works differently from an HDD, and there is no need for defragmentation. If you have both, only defragment the HDD. To do this, go to My Computer and right-click the hard drive, by default named Windows C, though you may have renamed it. Then go to Properties Tools, and under Optimize and Defragment Drive, click Optimize. You'll then get an Optimized Drives screen pop-up. My computer is having an SSD. These do not need to be defragmented. As in the video, Analyze will be grayed out for SSD drives, but will be available for hard drives. Select an HDD drive and click Analyze to see how fragmented it is. A good rule of thumb would be to keep it below 5%. If it's above, you can click Optimize to defragment the disk. If you have an SSD, you'll notice Optimize is actually an available option. Clicking it will run the trim command, which will wipe data that is no longer considered in use. Sometimes all you need is a fresh boot. Restarting your computer can enable updates to take effect and shut down stuck programs. When you're taking a break, it could be a good time to hit restart.
A few moments later.
You can boost a particular app's performance by prioritizing the app and setting up your RAM to utilize its most to the particular application. To do this, open the Task Manager and selecting the Details tab, and choose the particular application to be prioritized, and right-click on the application and set priority to the real-time or high to make the particular application to run faster without any crashes and lags. If you have a low-end PC with minimum specs, then your system may not built for multitasking, so limit your application usage and close the ones that you no longer use. So, prioritizing may greatly improve the application's sleekness and make it perform more faster like you want. Hope you got something useful in this video. Subscribe for more PC tips and coding tutorials.